All right, here we go, butts and guts. March 1st, new month. All right, so warming up, we're just gonna do 10 jumping jacks, just at your own pace.
Start workout.
All right, and then we're just gonna bring our arms up, pull our knee in, switch sides. Do 5 on each side. Just working on balance at the same time. All right, some butt kicks. And then we'll just do some arm circles forward. And another direction. And then open and close. And then just bringing your arms up, hands together, and then we're just gonna pull down to the sides, squeezing our back, and come up. All right, we're gonna get into our first exercise. It's gonna be curtsy lunges. If you find with your knees that it kind of pinches funny or feels not good for you, you can just do regular reverse lunges. So what we're gonna do is a total of 10 on each side. I don't know why this is so low down today. I'm trying to get it higher up. Let's see if this works. I don't know if that's gonna be better or worse. I don't know why it's not so. All right. So with our lunges, you're gonna stand up straight. We're gonna bring our 1 foot behind us, not like super cross where it's really awkward and twisting, but just slightly behind. And then we're just gonna squat, or sorry, lunge down, and then we're gonna alternate and do the other leg. So just body weight, 10 on each leg. Again, try to get full range of motion. One more on each. All right, going into dead bugs. So we're gonna lay on our back. Knees are gonna be up at 90 parallel, arms go straight, and then we're gonna extend opposite arm to opposite leg, engaging our core, pull that belly button into the ground, and then slowly bring that left arm, or sorry, left leg, right arm, and then back up. 10 on each side, alternating. Nice, slow, and controlled. Again, doing whatever reps is comfortable for you. Taking rest as you need. All right. Then we're gonna go into band, line, hip, adduct. If you don't have a band, that's okay. You can do body weight. So just putting the band just by your ankles, laying onto our side, extending our legs out. Again, tipping that toe down towards the ground, and then just extending your leg up and down. Again, you can use the band for extra resistance or just body weight. And one more, and we'll switch sides. Again, you don't need too much of a heavy band, just a light one. You'll still feel that resistance on your glute. All right, next one is going to be abs of alternating V sit-ups. So again, you can keep your feet planted, or you can have your feet up, and you're going to alternate right hand to left foot, and we're just going to like crunch up and touch the toe, alternating sides. Really trying to use that stomach to pull yourself up. One more on each side. All right, those ones feel like a good burn. Next, we're gonna stand on our back. We're gonna get into single leg glute bridge. If single leg's too challenging or difficult, you can just keep both feet planted. So we're gonna alternate, bringing one foot up. We're gonna go up, full hip extension, and then alternate. These ones are called like a hip march. So we're gonna alternate. Then squeeze that butt, full extension. It'll be 20 total, 10 on each side. Two more. All right. I'm getting warm, getting sweaty. Next, we're going to stay again kind of on our back, Russian twists. If you have a dumbbell or a weight that you want to use, you can. First option, feet are planted. Second option, we're challenging, feet are up. And we're just going to twist side to side, 10 on each. Nice, slow, and controlled. Last one. All right. Single leg kickbacks. So coming onto our hands and knees. We're going to extend one foot out. Fully extended foot is flexed. We're just going to lift our foot up and down, or leg up and down. So up, squeeze, tap back down on the ground, squeeze. If you have an ankle weight, you can add that. You could add a band. Just keeping tension on that glute the whole time. One more. Switching sides. Again, make sure those wrists are under our shoulders. Leg extends, foot is flexed. Here we go. Two more. Last one. All right, last ab exercise, then we're gonna rest, and then we'll do that circuit over again. All right, so last abs is gonna be plank rotations. So we're gonna come, you can do it from your knees or your toes. We're gonna stack our arms kind of like parallel to each other. We're gonna come up, we're just gonna rotate onto our side. Arm comes up, we come here, and then we're gonna switch, kind of like threading the needle in yoga. Switch sides and come up. We're gonna do 5 on each side, so 10 total. Again, you can do these from your knees. Nice, slow, and controlled. One more on each side. And then we get rest and water. All right. Shake it out. Grab some water. Slow your breathing down. So we're going to get back into those curtsy lunges again. If you found that you wanted some more resistance on any of those exercises, finding a different band to use, or finding a lighter one if you found that it was too much resistance. You kind of picked too heavy of a band. And then we're going to be getting back into curtsy lunges. Get a couple more seconds. And you can take those slow, deep breaths. All right, here we go. Round two. Again, 10 curtsy lunges. If that's not an option for you, just lunging straight directly back. Here we go, 10 on each side. One more on each. All right, into our dead bugs, getting back down onto that mat on our back. Knees come up to 90, arms extend, opposite arm, opposite leg goes out. Get nice slow, using those abs to pull that leg back up. Keep breathing. Last one. All right, into our sideline band. Abduct, again, grabbing that band, putting it around your ankles, or using just body weight if you don't have a band. Choosing whichever side you want to start with first. Point that toe to the ground. Here we go, flex that foot. 10 on each. Last one. All right, flipping over. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. Last one. All right, going back into alternating the sit-ups. Here we go. Again, option. You don't have to have your legs fully extended. They can be bent. Opposite arm, opposite leg, reach and touch. Last one. Whew, I don't know about you, but those ones seem to be the hardest one for me. Okay, single leg, glute bridge again. On our back, feet are planted, putting our hips up. And then we're going to alternate marching. Pushing through that foot. 2 more. All right, into our Russian twists. Again, feet can be planted or lifted off the ground, and we're just going to twist, look to the ground, opposite upside. Last one. All right, single leg kickbacks. Again, feel free to add a weight or a band. Wrists stacked under the shoulders, knees are under our hips, leg extends, foot is flexed. Here we go. Pulse up and down. All right, switching sides. Make sure that belly button and core is pulled in. Leg extends. Here we go. All right, almost there. Into our last one, those plank rotations. Again, from the knees or from your toes. Arms are parallel onto those elbows. Here we go. Rotate up, extend that arm, switch to the other side. One more on each side. There we go, just like that. Round two's done. Take those slow, deep breaths. Drink some water. We have one round left and then we're done. Like, I'm realizing with my disaster of a basement too that I really need to clean this up so that people don't have to observe this while we do butts and guts. So maybe by next weekend, this will all be cleaned out. I won't have the eyesore of my basement. All right, another couple seconds. When you're ready, standing back up. Once you feel like that breathing's caught up with you, your heart rate's come down a bit, that's when you can get into your next round. You want to make sure that you have some recovery, not just like going back to back to back in all the rounds, so that you can get your heart rate down, get some recovery. This isn't a full cardio type workout. We still want it to be more strength based. Like, I know I'm breathing hard. All right, here we go. Last round, back into those curtsy lunges, starting with whatever leg that you want, or doing those reverse lunges. Here we go. Final 20 of these. One more on each leg. Getting back into our dead bugs. Here we go, back onto that mat. Legs at 90, feet can be flexed, hands facing up to the sky. Here we go, opposite arm, opposite leg. Pull that belly button in. Full extension. One more each side. Again, make sure you're not holding your breath on any of these. Keep breathing. All right, banded line abducts again. Putting that band on our ankles. Here we go. Point that toe to the ground, full leg extension. Whatever range of motion is good for you. Last one. Flipping over. You should feel these right in the back and side of your butt. So if you're not just really thinking about, you can close your eyes too if that helps you. Helps with mind muscle connection. Like, whew, round 3 of those, my butt is feeling those burn. Here we go, alternating V sit-ups. Legs up, arms up, opposite arm, opposite leg. Using those abs to lift you up. All right, into our glute bridges. Feet plant, arms are down. Here we go. Marching it out. Feel that squeeze at the top. One more on each. If you're counting the same. All right, into our Russian twists. Again, either slightly easier feet planted or feet up. Here we go. All right. Single leg kickbacks. This and then our rotations, and we're finished. Again, into that tabletop position. Leg extends, pulsing up and down. A little bit of a challenge is not setting that foot down in between and tapping. All right, final movement, those plank rotations. Again, pull that belly button in, nice strong core, and rotate. Last one on each side. Almost there. You're strong, you got this. All right. Good job. Just round of applause to yourself. Showing up on a Sunday morning. We'll just stretch it out if you want. If you have to go, that's totally fine. We're gonna go into a pigeon. So just bringing our foot up, our knee up by our wrist. Standing out, this is a yoga move. This will just help stretch out our glute. Again, if elbows is too much, you can stay up on your wrists. Just getting that nice light stretch for all those muscles that got tightened up while we worked out. So making sure you drink lots of water, make sure you're fueling your body, having some protein, piece of fruit, something pre and post workout. All right, switching sides. And then just coming up into a tabletop, we'll do some cat and cow. And wrists under the shoulders, just pushing our stomach down, butt goes up, and then alternating round your low back. Just a couple of those, nice slow. And then coming into a child's pose, toes together, knees go out, extend those arms out. In front of you, your head can go down onto the mat. Just relaxing here, taking some slow, deep breaths. You can walk your arms over to one side. That can stretch the side of your chest, ribs, making some space. Going over to the other side. And then we'll come up into seated position, crossing our legs, and then opposite hand to opposite knee. Other arm goes behind. We're just going to do a slight back twist. You can look over your shoulder behind you for a bit more stretch. And then switching sides, rotating the other way. There we go. That is it. Butts and guts merge first. Nicely done.